Back at it again like we never left. Coke and Dank, Dank and Coke. It's the Lethal Weapons.
Hey, Dank!
Hey, Coke.
Did you hear about the new high-tech broom?
No, I didn't.
It's sweeping the nation.
It's terrible, but your delivery was
Sorry,
amazing.
I just figured it was time to brush out the old joke again.
See, you circled back. You get points for circling back.
I wish my delivery was a little swifter.
Now I'm just
Got worse.
just angry. I'm fuming.
I was banking on you not laughing at the first
The
one.
first one was good. I was like, because you didn't even let me try and think about it. You just jumped on the punchline. I was like, delivery will save you, sir.
You know what else is sweeping the nation? Streaming services.
That's your segue?
If you,
That's your segue.
I wish we could see I wish everybody else could see the face you just made.
That's your segue?
Holy shit.
I'm offended and appalled
The face you just made
as your partner in crime for this.
was fucking amazing.
That was terrible.
I've never gotten that look.
That was Charles Barkley terrible. Terrible.
I've never gotten that look before.
That's Alabama terrible.
That was the if
best.
I could bottle that look.
That was the best of the worst. You'd have nothing to make money off of. I don't know
That was
who's buying that look.
amazing.
Nobody's
That
buying
was
that look.
amazing. That's the angriest I've ever seen you.
That was bad. Because you had a trifecta of a joke that you made seemingly worse, and then
Worse,
and then
and
you
then worse,
segued the
and then
joke
segued.
into what we're talking about today, which we haven't even announced yet.
I didn't even have the segue. I just made that up right there because I knew it would be bad.
You know what? That shows.
Yeah.
Fuck off. So if you haven't guessed,
I wish I could take a picture of that face. That would look on t-shirts. That look was just like.
we're talking about brooms today, because clearly, no, we're talking about streaming services. Because if you don't have one, you definitely have a password and a username of a friend who does have one. It's the rage. Well, it's not the rage. Everyone's doing it because that seems where
It's the thing.
television and kind of movies are headed. Is a more user-friendly way of controlling what you watch and how you watch it.
And you can blame Netflix.
They're definitely the
pioneers. Are they? They're the first, were they?
the most
They started as a
successful.
rental company, right?
Yeah, I think like they were first before them, but these are the ones that kind of hit the nail on the head
Yeah.
on what the people really wanted.
Yeah.
And have thus expanded into the
Hulu
diaspora
and Amazon.
of as many different streaming services as possible. But to tie it back to why we do our dial-up podcast, Marvel and DC have announced and dropped their own streaming services. Which
Right.
is,
Well, Disney hasn't dropped theirs yet, has they?
DC is out.
DC's at Disney. I meant.
Disney, Marvel. So when we say Marvel, we're including Disney, because Disney now owns Fox, Marvel, Star Wars, and a whole subsidiary of other companies.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hear us saying Marvel, we mean Disney. If you hear us saying Disney, we also are talking about Marvel. Just a heads up.
Yeah, it might get mixed up and crossed.
However, DC, just being DC, has already launched their service. So
DC Universe.
they are out in the world where you can now get services rendered by their company, which is just in itself the fact that we now have streaming services dedicated to comic book and comic book.
Shows you the landscape that we're in now, right?
It shows you the power of like what these fucking comic books have. Like, did you ever think when you were reading a comic book that one day you would have access to an entire library of comic books, movie, television, and exclusive
On
like
its own
merchandise?
service. Yeah, it's nuts.
That at your fingertips? Like, good lord.
And that's what the DC Universe
Offers, yeah.
is offering more than just shows and TV, because they're keeping it simple. They're keeping it just pure DC stuff. They're not
Correct.
they're not getting into the Warner Brothers stuff. It's
we will call them the purists. They are looking exclusively at DC and DC related things. Hence the universe. They're only trying to encompass that. When we talk about Disney Marvel, we'll talk about how many irons are irons are in that fire. Yeah. But we'll get there when we get there. Just as like a little compass to think, like as spoiled as we were getting with movies on the big screen, to think now I can all watch these movies at my fingertips, like through like HD quality, the high speed service. Like this all unfathomable. So I don't know if you have kids or like sisters or siblings or brothers or family related, like they are just being born into this. That just seems like second nature. The fact that we've made to this point is
crazy, yeah,
unreal.
And we're
unreal.
Not. It's hard to say whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Like it's a good thing.
We don't know yet.
It's a good thing that you have, a stream for everything.
Correct.
But it's a bad thing that it's these streaming services are getting a little out of control.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Now they're starting to replace. They're gonna get to the point where they're replacing channels, and you're not saving your money anymore, right? The whole idea was to save money by subscribing to a streaming service and getting your content.
But we'll get into the pros and cons about streaming services. Let's talk about exclusively DC Universe and what your dollar will go for if you join now. Like, so they've already got the advantage of they've launched.
They launched early. I think they did it on purpose.
They had to. They had to be the first on the market and just kind of build as it grows on. So you can kind of grow with your audience as they start to subscribe. You can start to announce and re-release and kind of see the landscape of who's subscribing and what you want to give them and what you can give them.
So yeah, so
advantage DC. So
yeah, they have their movies and TV series, like all the classic. The Christopher Reeve Superman are there, Batman Begins, Dark Knight, the animated Batman series, which is cool.
Right.
Young Justice, Teen Titans, Batman Beyond, Brave and the Bold, Justice League. This is all animated stuff. Static Shock,
which is amazing. You get to rebuild a Saturday morning, which I don't know if we've had to the extent that we had when we were kids. Where it used to be like 4 to 5 channels competing for your attention.
Yeah.
From 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can now create that exclusively with DC related cartoons.
Yeah, which is cool, and all the animated movies are on there too, which is dope.
And the one thing about DC that
that's their strong point.
They've always gotten animated correct, so they can get you at the G-rated and take you all the way to the R-rated, and they've always been able to keep you engaged with whatever character that they had you viewing, which is awesome.
What's kind of cool is that it's not just movies and TV, right? They do. They have digital comics there, which I think is cool.
That makes them ahead of the game, especially compared to Disney.
Because now you're getting comics up to a year old, so you can read things from a year old and beyond.
And that that reaffirms where you started, cool. Right? It's not just a viewing for television and movies. You get to see the art form evolve from where it started, and you get to find stories that maybe haven't reached the television or movie landscape. You get to read them as they were intended, which is really sometimes
cool.
Better. Yeah,
which is really cool to have all those comics and issues at your fingertips, right? There's character bios, like their origins and histories and things like that. Exclusive merch, which is awesome. Like you were saying before, so you can shop online. There's like a rewards program. It's all these little things. It's very basic right now. We didn't even talk about the originals. The original shows too. They have a DC Daily, which is like a news program on everything
DC that's
DC related. Which it's it rounds everything up for you.
I don't know how much DC related news you can get daily. Maybe that should be a weekly show.
Yeah, it probably should be.
I don't know how many times you need to tell me, a new comic's coming tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll talk about a new comic.
Yeah, it should be like every Wednesday and then every maybe like Friday or something like that. Because the Wednesday's the new comic book drop. Or Tuesdays, right? Wednesday's the drop, so if you had it on the Monday or Tuesday to kind of promote the drop.
Fair enough. Like, I mean, you want news, which is great, but there's not enough news on the landscape to keep someone hungry.
No, I know. That's
to keep someone watching every day is like ridiculous.
DC Weekly or DC twice a week. But yeah, they have the original shows. Titans. I watched one episode of that.
Yeah, I'm saving Titans.
Okay, it's okay. I'll come back around to it. I'm just not in the mood for it. Right. It's kind of like
you haven't subscribed yet.
No, but I've seen Titans. I've bought a subscription.
Well, don't say that. We purchase all of our things.
They have the Young Justice Outsiders.
Ah, very nice.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you watched that?
Yes, I have.
And thoughts?
Cool. Save it for we will do an episode. I'll find a way to shoehorn that in. I fucking love it.
They have the great Doom Patrol out now.
Yes.
By the time you hear this, it'll be wrapped. But
this is one of their premier things too. Their whole launch of Doom Patrol was definitely awakening or reawakening for DC. So the fact that they have it as one of their premier reasons to join the service is smart, and
which is fucking cool because they went weird. Like Doom Patrol's weird.
Yep.
And they went weird off the bat. Like, you know what? Let's not give them Batman. More of what they've seen in the movies. Let's give them some weird shit.
Batman. Let's try.
I think that's why I'm not in the mood for Titans right now, because it's kind of it's similar to like Justice League, right? Yep. I know it's not Justice the same, Junior. But it's kind of like I'm just not in the mood for it.
It's the same archetypes.
But Doom Patrol,
it's like
I'm in the mood for that.
One of their lead characters had a brain transplant and is now a robot.
Yeah.
So I mean, off the bat, you're dealing with a level of characters that have a different set of abilities and powers, which is cool, and stories.
Yeah, and it's weird. All the characters are like you've never seen before. I know this is now turning into like a promote Doom Patrol thing, but it's fucking good.
We would. I think there's a Keep 6 about it too.
Yeah,
is
there a Keep 6? No, maybe not. But we'll do one. Doesn't matter. There's a Keep. I can just crop it.
There you go. Well, don't do that.
But no, it's fucking it's worth watching. Even if you know anything about Doom Patrol or not, it's worth watching if you want something a little different with your heroes, because they're all very unique, very strange, and very fun. Which
is kind of the strength of DC. I feel like they have more out of pocket characters than Marvel.
Absolutely.
Marvel's definitely a blueprint, and you kind of understand how their world works because everyone's seemingly a prototypical copy, or at least has the same sort of attributes moving forward. DC's all like, nah, fuck it. We have a plastic guy, we have a robot dude, and we have a guy that dresses up like a bat.
Yeah.
Like three things that couldn't be as far as each other. And then they find ways to squeeze them all together.
Yeah.
So
they make it work.
One of their strengths, and definitely you'll get to reward it too, as vast as their landscape is their strength.
Well, and in this show too, they reference other DC things like characters a lot. which is cool.
And for anyone that's this is really turning into a Doom Patrol episode.
It is. We're gonna change gears.
And anyone that is kind of new to these type of characters and how vast it is, they give you Cyborg right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
To kind of reel you in, to be like, okay, you understand who Cyborg is. Watch him kind of navigate this new world.
Yeah, he's kind of like he's the one that
he's the grounded. He's the one that you know, so you can feel safe with.
Coming out soon, it will be out by the time you hear this. Swamp Thing, which I'm very excited for.
So stoked, huh?
Yeah, he's one of my favorites in DC. So he's getting his own show. One
of your favorites, period.
He is.
He wouldn't get a top 10.
Oh yeah, he would.
Swampy.
I love him because he's so weird. He started as a horror trope before he was an actual superhero, right?
Right.
One of the best stories written by the great Alan Moore. I don't know how much they're borrowing from any comic runs originally, because it hasn't aired yet, so we haven't seen it yet. Right. But it has a lot to do. I think it follows Abby Arcane mostly, which is his love interest, quote unquote, and her crazy father. So, I'm really looking forward to that. It's gonna be cool. And like we said, it's going weird off the bat again. Like, this is not your
and here's the strength of if there's a TV show or a movie on here that you're kind of unsure of, DC set you up with, you can go check out the comic, and if you like the comic, chances are you may like the TV show or movie. There's always a foundation for you to like the things that they're showing you. Then you're never ever just walking in blind. They always give you, and even if it's just a character in origins, you can kind of get a foundation of who Swamp Thing is before you watch Swamp Thing, which is super awesome and something that's so forward thinking that I feel is a big strength to the DC universe.
And the strength there, I know I'm a little biased, but the strength there is his runs. His runs are, for the most part, very good, no matter what the writer is. So it's like you could read almost anything on him. It's like, oh, this is pretty fucking cool. So
enough swampy love. Give it to DC Universe.
Stargirl is getting their own show.
Right on.
Which is pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know if it's coming out until next year. It might be later this year, but next year coming out.
Well, obviously you would have exclusive rights being part of the streaming service.
Yeah, they take your time. Take your time to put it out. But I'm not sure if it's 2019 or 2020. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Harley Quinn's getting her own animated show geared towards adults. So it could be a little racy.
Good looking out for these costumes that she's going to be wearing.
Yeah. And
do you know if Margot Robbie is reprising her role or completely different?
It's animated. It's animated, so I'm not sure who's voicing her either. Yeah, it's gonna be animated, so it's gonna be silly. It'd probably be a lot of fun. It'd be really good. I don't know.
Possibly hentai. Possibly not. You may have to pay extra for those.
Yeah, no, but it is for it's. They say it's adult cartoon, so
We're thinking in the same vein as Afro Samurai, Spawn,
Spawn. Yeah,
the
I would
Max.
imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're even
There's
the animated series is very close to being an adult cartoon.
Close, but there's no boobies. This will probably have boobies.
We don't know yet.
We don't know though. Also, Metropolis is coming out. That's
Ah.
pretty cool. It hasn't been determined when, but that's on the docket as well.
Question.
Yo,
DC happens to be one of the most successful in launching TV shows in the current cable landscape. How many of those TV shows, typically from CW, are going to make it to DC Universe?
that's a good question. Nobody's brought that up, and they haven't really canceled any, so
Okay.
they might just be leaving them where they are. I know Arrow's ending after its
Yeah, go down the run.
next season.
There's Arrow, there's The Flash,
Flash.
there's Smallville.
Smallville's done.
If we go to Gotham just ended, which is on
Yeah.
Fox.
I think they're letting them wrap up. It seems, anyways. I don't know for sure. It seems like they're letting them wrap up naturally rather than canceling them.
Fair enough.
Uh,
If you want to go even campier, there was Lois and Clark back in our day.
that's available on it now.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
That was a classic, different take on Superman, but pretty fun actually.
Yeah. No, it's fine.
For like a rom-com kind
Yeah.
of. I don't know if it was a
watched it
daytime.
when I was
It
younger.
was like a primetime show, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's fine time. So, yeah.
And a different way to
It was
kind
more-
of give you Superman.
It was a
more
romance first.
Yeah, it was Superman's relationship, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then who doesn't love Terry Hatcher?
She's
Short hair Terry Hatcher.
Yeah, short hair.
We're talking about her in another episode.
Yeah,
So
we
that's
were.
how much we love Terry Hatcher. Also, I don't know if 1960s Batman is gonna make it. Pow Zoom,
I'm not.
Blammo.
I don't remember if it was on there. I know that 1970s Shazam is on there.
Oh, that's amazing with
That's
Billy
on there.
Batts and that
Yeah.
tiny little kid.
That's on there. So
That's crazy.
they went right to the classics. They've brought in a whole bunch of classics,
And that's really
which is cool.
the safe assumption is that if it says DC on it in the cable, chances are they're just working out the contracts to bring it back home.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, you're gonna have access to what we've had access to on general TV.
So I'm sure that the CW stuff will eventually be
No Riverdale.
available there.
We're gonna get Riverdale,
That's not DC, man.
but Jughead.
It's not DC.
All right.
Um,
What we didn't give them
that
is
sounds funny.
wait till you hear that back. What we didn't give them is the actual price point for how much they're paying for this.
$7.99 US is what I saw.
a month.
Yeah, $7.99.
For
But there
all
are
this content.
yeah.
Well, it's not bad actually.
No, I know they have. I think they have package deals where it's like $75 for the whole year.
Which does that give you more?
Yeah, you're saving 20. No, but you're saving 20% a
Okay.
month, right? We're not trying to sell you guys on these, but we're just giving you the information. 'cause
We
it's
kind
there.
of are.
A little bit.
I mean, if it gets us a couple of free subscriptions, then bye.
Mm.
Ain't no lie, baby. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
No, see, if you put the melody in it, then we'll have to pay for it.
Yeah, I don't like it now.
Just
I don't like
say
it
the
now.
words, and then you can't really. Oh, Christopher Reeve Superman's gonna be there.
I said that.
I know, but you see the picture of it, and
Yeah.
then you hear the theme song. So specifically, do you want to talk about what more you would want from DC, or what you were expecting
I
this
want
to
them.
look like?
I want them to keep it weird. Yeah. I like. No, you got to. This is what I think you should do with streaming service: is rather than give them what they already have on the big screen with
Right.
all your big guys, you got to get your subsidiary characters, like the secondary characters, which DC, like we talked about and agreed on, has better
yes.
than Marvel. Get some other cool teams like Doom Patrol's amazing choice. Swamp Thing is great. Get the Animal Man in there.
You love it,
Right, I love Animal Man almost as much as I love Swamp Thing. Get him in there because they could connect. They have similar.
Let's see some
strengths,
Zatanna.
right? Zatanna would be sick.
Doctor Fate.
Dr. Fate, yeah, Dr. Fate was one of the three I wanted. Also, Secret Six. You get the Secret Six in there. You base them on Gail Simone's first run with Catman, and when she put Bane in it.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. Bane was in this.
Yeah,
that
it was
run, right?
that was a great run. Catman, Bane, Ragdoll, and the like. It was awesome.
I would imagine animated Plastic Man.
Seriously, go fucking weird.
Actually, I wouldn't mind a claymation Plastic Man. So I don't know who's in charge of anything.
That's a good idea. Yeah, like
just
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Why not? And that's the thing. You can really test out. You can use this platform as a test out run. You can decide that, okay, we're just doing 6 episodes of these 4 shows.
Yeah.
Releasing it to our streaming service, and whichever one gets the most hits or streams, or you guys vote for it, is what we'll actually put in production.
Like, and you can
because you have your demographic right
Yeah.
here. You're only really talking to DC fans and people that want to watch DC related content. So why not just make them your beta market to be like beta market?
yeah, and you can
To
build
be like,
up.
hey, do you like this?
Everybody likes the crossovers. You can build that up. When Marvel was on Netflix, they did their crossovers with the Defenders
Very successful.
and guest appearances and things like that.
Same with Shield.
The CW stuff did crossovers.
Yeah, they did a lot of multiverse stuff too.
Right. So if you're gonna do stuff on here like exclusive things, you're gonna keep it weird. Excuse me. With, like I said, my suggestion of Secret Six, you could have Secret Six versus the Birds of Prey, which would be nobody's ever seen that. It's happened in the comics, but it's never happened on screen, right? That'd be fucking cool.
And then to opposition of go weird, you can go very, I don't know what the word is, but just every day. Like you can start doing stories like Year One and just give me the Jim Gordon perspective of how he started before he became Commissioner Gordon in Gotham, or give me Lois Lane in the daily life of, because she's always a character that in any movie that we've ever watched always comes off as someone that we want to know more about. So talking about these side characters, you can give us like a day in the life type of shows where it's just talking about this before even the superhero magnitude hits their type of life.
Well, they have the Pennyworth show coming up. I don't know if it's on this streaming service or if it's on network TV, but
give it time. Yeah, if it's safe to assume anything that has a DC imprint on it will eventually end up in the universe. Because how do you write a contract and not include anything that has DC?
But I know you're a big Alfred fan, so that'd be cool. Pennyworth, like a young Alfred, kind of.
Yeah, I always had
going through the motions.
I always had a crazy take. Maybe we'll find a way to scoop in how I wanted to deal with Alfred and how he was kind of working with a secret society that definitely had another number. Like he was a cleaner. So he was always coming in to clean bodies. And
have you seen that movie with Samuel Jackson, Cleaner?
That's not. Oh no, that's Cedric the Entertainer. Is the cleaner.
No, what was he then? No, it was just Cleaner. It was just Cleaner.
There's the Cleaner, which is Cedric the Entertainer.
So it was just Cleaner. It was
and then there's Hitman Bodyguard. With the Samuel Jackson. And if there's a third movie you're talking about, because you're not getting your black actors confused.
No, I'm not.
You're gonna tell me.
Cleaner. Eva Mendes is in it too.
That's not Samuel Jackson. That's Abe Vigoda.
No.
I couldn't think of a more recent actor than Abe Vigoda. So the one person that gets that reference, thank you for laughing.
Bam!
Yeah, I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying I couldn't think of anyone else other than... Is Bruce Willis in this too?
No, it's, what's his name? The guy from Westworld. Ed Harris.
Kind of looks like Bruce Willis. Oh, y'all look alike.
Say it. There it is. I was waiting for that.
Oh, y'all look alike.
I was waiting for that.
But the Cleaner's making DC Universe?
No, just Cleaner.
Stupid reference that we
went off topic again.
On a tangent. Keep 6 on the Cleaner, because I don't know if it's a good movie.
Not just Cleaner.
I'm recommending my Cedric the Entertainer movie.
Keep 6 on the Samuel
where
Jackson
he is a
Cleaner.
hitman, but he gets recruited to become a hitman, and hilarious comedy ensues with the insatiable Cedric the Entertainer.
You having fun?
Kind of.
Okay.
Maybe I need to drink up more. But DC is definitely leading the pack so far.
I like it. It's simple. It's small. Yeah, it doesn't give you the.
It's clean, but there's so much room to grow, and I feel like their comics is something that's really
cool,
so underrated, and that's the genesis of all of this.
Yep.
So to pay dues to that is very smart to the type of subscriber that you want to be on this service.
Well, $8 a month will get you all those comics.
Like over 20,000 comics.
Yes. It's like that's like the same as buying 3 comics.
So like how did
right?
So you would you subscribe through your computer and then you could attach to your TV, like you have to have a smart TV kind of thing. What's the whole? It's available on platforms too, so that you can use your. So if I have a TV with rabbit ears.
Oh boy.
And knobs to change it, how do I watch this on that TV?
I don't know, but it's available. I have no idea. Actually, I don't have no idea. I think you're fucked. But you can get on the Amazon Fire Stick, Android services, Apple TV, Xbox One, Roku sticks. It's all there.
Yeah, I think, and they give you a 7-day free trial.
Boom.
So at the very least, you can keep reading that up.
I might try that actually.
A few times. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It says read 20,000 comics. I'm definitely gonna try and do that.
I gotta read 20,000 comics in
7 days.
7 days.
Seven.
Where would you start?
Somewhere small.
Okay.
So, Booster Gold or Blue Beetle.
Yeah, Blue Beetle or Booster Gold? Which one?
Booster Gold.
Because then I'll go Blue Beetle.
All right, fair enough. And we'll meet in the middle. We'll meet in the middle. That's the and time out. That's a TV show that I definitely want to see hit the airwaves at some point. I want to see a crossover Blue Beetle, Booster Gold. I know you guys are potentially working that to a movie, but hey, man, test out the audience right now.
Yeah.
And Doomsday. Find a way to put Doomsday. A good working version of Doomsday. I'm like, how much Jesse Eisenberg can I get with this streaming service? I need more.
Nobody wants more.
We're getting more.
Do we deserve more?
We're going into dangerous characters because we're now reminding ourselves that Jesse Eisenberg is Lex Luthor.
What's Marvel got for us?
All right, so
in the Disney Plus program.
Again, so when we say Marvel, we mean Disney. When we say Disney, we mean Marvel. It's fucking huge.
Disney Plus is broken down into different things, right?
Like it's several subsidiaries because Disney decided that they want to own everything, and now that they own everything, they can give us everything.
What are the Let's focus on Marvel. What are the categories?
Be careful because that could be a dangerous situation.
We'll focus on Marvel though.
So Marvel, they're talking about the TV and movie landscape. Currently, what they have out is everything that's being canceled from Netflix. So that's Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones.
That's on Disney Plus. That will be on Disney Plus.
I'm just saying this is what's been canceled.
Oh,
now.
okay,
So
all right. I was like, what?
It's safe to assume that it's eventually going to make it onto Marvel.
Yeah.
Let's just let's tell people what's going on in the current landscape. Defenders and Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Right? Those are all things that you can watch now on Netflix, but have been canceled. So there's no immediate plans to do anything forward with Netflix. However, Marvel Disney is now launching a Falcon and Winter Soldier TV show.
Interesting. Yeah, it's interesting.
A WandaVision TV show, a Loki Vision show, and which is really cool. Animated Marvel What Ifs.
That's what I'm talking about. Like that's
taking a chance and understanding your audience.
That's what I'm talking about though.
Because the first episode is Peggy Carter becomes Captain America and Steve Rogers becomes Iron Man.
Yes, that's cool.
That's just a what if.
It's animated, yeah.
So
that's cool. Like those first three you mentioned are they're fine. Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Well, because you've already built them.
WandaVision will be interesting.
You've built them up in your cinematic universe. You've
right.
spent 11 years saying these are characters that you care about, you enjoy, you love, and here you can expand on them in a television show. Great.
Yeah, because we're not going to make a movie for these guys. That's basically what
that
saying,
we
right?
that we know.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that. If anything, you're doing the same thing that you did in the movie universe, but you're doing it on a smaller scale. Right. So if you spend a season apiece with all these guys and then find a way to season finale them all together and then launch them into the movie world, you can do that. Yeah. Same thing with the Netflix cast, which we've talked about. You spend all these times building up these characters. You now just need a reason for all of them to meet in the world that you could now, or a reason for a villain for them to team up with and fight, like Kingpin, and you can launch that in a straight to Disney Plus movie, right? Like when we say movie now, because Netflix has changed the landscape, a straight to Netflix movie can be on the same sort of scale as a straight to theaters movie.
Right.
So saying that they're not going to make a movie is not as true as it once was. It's not as true as it is today, where everything can become a movie because your streaming site can now pick up that type of process.
Program? Oh,
yeah. Okay. Both work, but you understand what I'm going with. And then obviously they have all the movies. So I believe the first movie that they're going to help launch the site with is going to be Captain Marvel. So we won't get that on Netflix for the first time. We're not going to get
That'd be the first one that won't be on.
Correct. It's going straight to Disney Plus, and then everything that's already been released is obviously going straight to that site as well for the Marvel section. If you want to start branching out into the other,
does it have a launch date even?
November 12th.
November.
US.
Okay, so that's late. Okay, late this year.
So, right around the time that you should be getting Captain Marvel in DVD form, it's going to be streaming for you.
Right.
On your Disney Plus, right?
It's ready to go.
That's just Marvel. Now, opening the landscape, they also have Star Wars. So, the entire animated Clone Wars series is moving to the streaming site. I watched a couple of them.
I never watched that.
I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but this show was very cool because it showed what was going on in between the movies, which seemed to be a lot
Okay, so just fill in the gaps.
A lot of the richness, right? Because I've heard a lot of fans of the Star Wars franchise really love these movies because it helped fill in the gaps and give more strength to characters that you wouldn't get to see on the big screen. We're getting The Mandalorian, which has been a hush-hush project for how long? And it's finally going to get a release when it hits Disney+. There's also an untitled Rogue One series with Diego Luna and Alan Tudyk, who played K2SO.
Yeah.
And
I don't think he's getting around, because he's also Mr. Nobody in Doom Patrol. Yeah.
He's one of the jack of all trades.
Yeah,
he keeps on Alan Tudyk. If you don't know the name off the bat, if you ever seen Dodgeball, he's the pirate. And he's great. He's very versatile.
He's good.
So they're going back to Rogue One. So they're tapping that vein again and giving us a series on that. Not to mention what would be 9 movies or 8 at that time, because we're not going to get episode 9 until December. This launches in November. We'll get the existing discography. What's the?
Yeah.
They're not discs though.
Yeah, but it's filmography.
There you go. That's the word. Filmography of Star Wars, also on the Disney Plus. Okay, we're not to mention they're also trying to include National Geographic series, which include all the Disney Earth films that they've launched, which is great. But really, the meat and the potatoes for Disney is the Disney Vault. So that's going to be
all those anime movies, yeah.
Disney, Pixar, all available, as well as original works for specific projects. And they have a few spin-off projects that they're working on. So the Muppets are getting a new reboot that's going straight to that service. Mighty Ducks is getting a spin-off that's going straight to the service. The Sandlot, Love, Simon, if anyone's knows those two movies. And I think Love, Simon's a TV show. That's going to the service, as well as a new female-fronted twist on High Fidelity, a Jack Black, John Cusack movie, which is pretty good, actually. Also going to that service. So DC's already kind of blowing the top off everything that's available. They have the Netflix approach of you'll spend more time.
Marvelous.
Disney Plus.
Disney. Oh, this is DC. Yeah, okay.
Disney Plus already has the Marvel approach of you'll spend more time scrolling through things that you want to watch than actually end up watching anything.
You know how you ever do that? I'll fucking sit there for 20 minutes. I want to watch something. It's too late now.
I'll put a like on the first thing that I think I'll like and scroll and be like, I should have just fucking watched that
first
thing.
Yeah.
So,
you already spent 15, 20 minutes
but that's
cycling
what they want.
Through.
They just want your eyes and attention on there. They've spent how many focus groups and built as many algorithms to for your eye to pick out the most pleasing thing for you. So that's the one thing that we haven't talked about, like the actual view of it and how the user interface and how it's actually going to look. We haven't tested any of them out yet, so we can't give you a full scope of what these sites are going to look like. But you have to believe they spent countless amount of dollars and time to make sure it looks as user friendly, especially on the Disney side, because they want your family to be enjoying this.
I bet it'll be categorized like Marvel here, Star Wars here, Pixar here, Disney. That's what I'm assuming it'll be. And you click on one and then it brings it, because I don't want to go through all the friggin'.
Yeah, but you never know, right? You can go by age range, you can go by years. You don't know how you're gonna do it. Like, it's the Magic Kingdom, and literally they're trying to include everything in the fucking kingdom, right? Expect as much Mickey Mouse and Disney stuff as possible in that too. They haven't really give us as much extra content as DC in terms of merch and extra things for content subscribers. But assuming that there's a theme park attached to this whole Disney Plus thing, there's going to be ways and there's going to be constant type of commercials and feeds for you
that's a good point.
Disney Store as well. There's always going to be a connection to keep that money circulated in their community. There's a lot. Disney Plus will include all of Disney's family-friendly and much of its mass audience fare. It has content from Disney property, Marvel, Lucasfilms, Pixar, National Geographic. And it's also, here's the crazy kicker.
This is the big one.
From Fox, they've signed on to give off day one, so November 12th, you're going to get all currently 30 seasons of The Simpsons.
Huge. And
the entire series of Malcolm in the Middle, which I believe is 8 seasons.
Oh, Malcolm in the Middle too?
Yeah, which is
8 seasons?
Yeah, a underrated great TV show.
Yeah, it's very good. I didn't realize it was 8 seasons. Holy shit.
So already I'm kind of overwhelmed with as many things to watch on Disney Plus. Not to mention, because Disney Plus is their G-rated content, there's a connection that they have with Hulu that they're going to be releasing more R-rated content.
That's right. Yeah.
On.
And Hulu's got all the that's right. Hulu will have the is seemingly going to hold
all the dramas,
or roster the more
the Deadpools,
I don't want to
the
say
dramas,
more serious stuff. The more
X-Men's, the more
maybe
adult
the more
content.
adult content. Yeah.
Anything that's adult accompaniment, things that they want you to watch, but they want you to watch knowing that your parents have given you permission, or that you're old enough that you don't need.
Have you watched any of the stuff on Hulu yet? Because it's already out. Like there's already stuff that like the Runaways, right?
Correct.
Have you watched that?
I've seen one episode.
Yeah, so did I. I wasn't.
That's one episode. We'll get to that. We have an episode talking about again.
It's okay.
But and that's Marvel. Marvel's been launching a whole bunch of things into like Cloak and Dagger has been
that's been out, right?
We haven't
been out.
We'll talk about that episode when we get to that episode.
Have you watched it?
We'll get to that episode when we get to that.
I got that look again.
We're talking about streaming services now and just all that's related. We have episodes where we break down what we watched and why we watched it and where we're gonna watch. But now it's all gonna be under one house. So with as much as Marvel, Disney is offering it. And Fox and now National Geographic, it's kind of overwhelming. It's a little more scarier, but their price point is $1 more than yours. It's only good. Oh, sorry, $1 less, $6.99 per month.
$6.99. Oh
yeah,
boy.
for $6.99, $6.999 annually. So right off the bat, both services were like, "Fuck Netflix's. We can make it better and cheaper."
Yeah.
Right now, we know it's cheaper. We don't know if it's better.
And you got DC going the more niche approach. Like it's like.
This is DC.
It's all DC, nothing but DC. Here's some exclusives off the top. Because as far as I know, the Marvel exclusive stuff isn't going to be dropping until after 2020.
Right.
Right, like the WandaVision stuff. And there's not even a release time for the Hawkeye one yet.
No.
That was just announced.
It's all just announced and dropped. But with so much content, you won't be worried about what's coming next because there'll be so much stuff to get you to what's coming next. To watch. Yeah.
Especially when you take the Hulu stuff into consideration.
And that's the Netflix approach, right? Like, they'll drop a trailer for something coming in Netflix 2 months away, but because you're already the show that you're already watching, that'll carry you through right into the new thing that's about to drop.
And we didn't mention it, but there's also on the Hulu side, they got the Ghost Rider show coming out, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, question if, again, the same assumption with DC. You're assuming that S.H.I.E.L.D. will eventually go back.
S.H.I.E.L.D. will be on Hulu, yeah.
Inhumans will
never be serviced again.
I mean, someone's gonna want to watch it.
I honestly have never. I want to know if there's anybody out there that actually enjoyed it from start to finish. I didn't even get to the finish.
It should still be available.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it was. It's a thing. It was real.
And now that you own Fox, you get all the Spider-Mans, all the X-Men's, all the Deadpools,
all the X-Men. So this is the other thing too. It's kind of like
we're hoping that the one X-Men film,
is that gonna go right to the streaming service? We don't know, right?
That would make the most. That would make the most sense for especially a launching date because you've completed a movie. You've given us no indication that it's gonna be launched in the mass theaters. Why not launch it on your streaming service? That gives me more of a reason to sign up with you guys.
Day one. Here's Captain Marvel for the first time. Here
New
is
Mutants.
Just exclusive on this service.
Yeah.
Here's a couple more things, right? Like that's. I think it'd be smart.
Here's the director's cut of Apocalypse because we've been waiting for that.
Nobody wants. Oh, where he actually looks like Apocalypse?
No. It's
of course not.
The original version.
Oh, where it looks like Ivan Ooze.
Yeah, more of that and more CGI. It's 3 more hours of CGI.
Of Magneto just whipping things around.
I mean, that's what we wanted in an X-Men
in
movie.
no particular direction.
It's better than X3. Actually, no, I take that back immediately.
Oof, I'm not sure.
That's definitely a versus. We have
That's a good versus.
We have to contrast and another C word.
Because they're both
terrible.
They're both terrible.
So it's crazy. Did you ever think we would get to a point where we now have competing streaming services?
No. No. Well, I mean, I guess it was forecast a couple of years ago. You could see it coming. Is there anything Marvel related? Did you want anything from DC? I know I said I wanted. You mentioned Dr. Fate, so you did say that.
I'm not against any new TV shows coming. I mean, the comic books will definitely tide me over for a long time.
That's right. That's
the exclusive thing. That's like I didn't know I wanted it till you offered it, and now I know that's exactly what I wanted. But after reading these comic books, I'm definitely gonna be like, hey, Maybe here's what I want. I would love kind of a community that kind of gives me a heads up on like maybe this is what you want to read, or based on my certain whatever algorithm that you build, you watch this and this, you would probably like this comic book. I think that would be great.
like a Netflix thing, how they recommend.
But if you're bringing it from comic book to TV shows and movies, or movies and TV shows to comics, so whatever I read, you recommend to watch, or whatever I watch, you recommend to read, that's something that's exclusive to your service and definitely can expand my staying on that site longer than I was intending to. Because if I watch Doom Patrol and you're like, oh, have you read this arc of Doom Patrol? And because I read this arc of Doom Patrol, you recommend Animal Man 379.
That'd be sick, yeah.
And I just, like, that's a wormhole that's probably fun, and I probably end up a lot more sleepless nights enjoying the fact that you guys keep finding a way to keep me on your site.
What about Marvel? What do you want there? That's like something that we haven't This is where I think DC's doing it better, is with the exclusives. I think the stuff they're giving us is nothing like what we've seen on the movies.
Right.
The exclusive things, right? So Marvel, whereas as an extension of what's already there.
Right.
Right. So that's kind of, I can't say that they're not taking an L for that, but I'm more interested in Doom Patrol than I am in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Like if
Fair
to be
enough,
honest,
yeah.
right? Because I've seen those guys. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good.
And you kind of get who they are.
I'm sure it'll be good. I'm sure it'll be interesting. It might even be better than I expect, right? I don't know how many episodes, especially if it's short. Right. If it's like a 4 to 6 episode thing, that'd be sweet.
How many seasons?
Yeah, we don't know. Or it could just be a one-off. I think the WandaVision will be dope, just because we haven't seen, like we've only got a little bit of a taste of their relationship.
And so far we don't know the plans moving forward in the cinematic universe. So
Vision's still gone, so she has to bring him back, right?
But this is such a great opening that if you offered comic books, I can read House of M, or I can read all the Avengers where.
And there's no sign of that, right?
No. I would also specifically, if you're trying to keep all my money Disney, I want a rebate for as many years as I sign up for your service for Disney World. So you laugh, but Disney World's expensive.
That'd be sick. No,
but if I spend $70 for this service, I want $70 off my ticket. If I spend $140 on your service, I want $140 off my ticket. I think you can afford to do it, especially with how many people are going to launch on.
That'd be a huge promo.
But if you're
especially
doing,
if they give it a limited time, like
exactly,
you have to
exactly. If you're trying to keep my money in, give me a reason to visit Disney Store and visit Disney World, because I want to go back. It's amazing, but I don't want to pay Disney World prices.
Yeah, here's your $100 back, but you got to use it by March 2021 or whatever.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, let me start planning now. How many shows can I watch to get me over to Disney World?
That'd be a genius idea, because then they're pulling you in, and then you're spending on merch.
Keep your money in the same community. Killer Mike told us about that.
That's right. Keep sticks on that.
They really started off well with this Marvel's What If.
That's cool. That's really cool, because it'll be simple. It'll be easy. It's animated, so they can go kind of crazy with it.
I feel you can double down with your What Ifs, or just your animated, because
just go off the wall.
Listen, you've already announced that Howard the Duck is back on your cinematic universe. You can very easily scale him down and throw him in an animated TV show that could either go R-rated, adult, company rated, or G-rated, but it's something that kind of can bounce around in the world of Marvel and still be enjoyable, because I'm coming from a DuckTales, Darkwing
Duck. Who was Darkwing Duck?
That's Disney.
It is Disney?
Yeah. I haven't so I'm hoping that
I'd watch some more Darkwing Duck.
ABC and all of their Saturday morning cartoons eventually, because we're looking at Recess, we're looking at Bonkers, we're looking at DuckTales, Tailspin, like all of those properties that were essentially just sequels to whatever movie that they were attached to, like the animated universe. If it makes no sense for you not to include that. You're giving me the kitchen sink, just give me everything, right? So I'm hoping I get to see a fair bit of Saturday morning nostalgic, also including Gargoyles. I hope that makes.
I was waiting for you to stop so I could be like, Gargoyles! What about fucking Gargoyles? The movie we pitched.
You
for Gargoyles.
You're a subscriber. You already know how amazing ideas we have.
Yeah.
So right now, this just seems like the launch strategy of like, we're gonna have maybe like 4 specific subject criterias, right? Like the National Geographic, the Marvel, the Star Wars, and like the Pixar, Disney. And from there, we're gonna start to trickle in everything else we've created throughout this time. Not to mention, we also have Fox under our blanket or under our arm. So at any moment they can decide, like, okay, we have
Aliens too. Isn't that Aliens?
Fox is so huge, right? So
say,
I was just gonna go off their animation domination.
Yeah.
You already announced Malcolm in the Middle and Simpsons, but if you stay on that Sunday that used to have both of those, King of the Hill, Futurama, Family Guy, American Dad, Cleveland Show, and more. Like that was just a Sunday. So for me, I would love for you to go and hit Martin and In Living Color and I think Living Single was Fox too. Like they're like Fox is huge. That itself can be its own service site. Like they have, if they're just doing Fox and ABC television shows, I would subscribe just for that. The fact that you have Disney and Marvel attached is great.
Like I said, they're gonna absolutely flood it. Like, it's
but
just
there's so much, right? So they have to be very cognizant of how much you're giving, when you're giving it, and what you're exposing us to.
You gotta release it in waves.
Because to give us everything is like, well,
that's too much.
How am I ever gonna watch everything I want to watch? And then with the whole thing with the Disney animated series and like re-releasing from the vault, I feel like that should have its own like time delay on it too, right? Like you should be like, okay, this month we're doing Black Cauldron. You go watch Black Cauldron for the entire month, and then it's going
and switch it up.
Not going away, but just moving back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you don't overrun.
Now here's Fantasia.
Because how many parents out there have had to watch Frozen repeatedly,
over and over
and over and over and know every song? But there's for every Frozen, there's like 12 other movies that are just as good but have been lost. Oliver and Company, Fox and the Hound, Mulan was great, Hercules was great.
Yeah.
They just get lost to either the fact that they go back in the vault and you can't find them, or just the fact that the versions of them that you have aren't to the same quality that you were gonna get on a streaming
Which what will be interesting is that Jungle Book movie, because there's the one that was remade by Favreau.
There's one for
Disney,
Netflix and there's one for Disney. Yeah.
But the one that Andy Serkis won,
just for Netflix.
Which I've watched both of them and they're both good. I enjoy both of them.
But are they both going to Disney Plus?
No, I think the Andy Serkis one is actually Netflix though, because it's based on the book.
They pay
not the
Roger Kipling.
Yes, it's a little bit more
booky.
Yeah, a little more
headspace.
I want to say adult, but it's a little bit more mature.
It's a thinker.
Yeah,
which isn't bad.
It's not all lovey-dovey friendly stuff.
It doesn't always end as fairy tale as it should, even though it's a boy in the jungle.
No, there's some violence in it,
which it never really.
It
doesn't really end well.
It's funny. The animation's not as good as the Disney one.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be expected because I guess a little less money put into it, but it's still I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
Keep in mind, I want all shades of Mighty Ducks. So there's the Mighty Ducks trilogy, there's a Mighty Ducks cartoon, and now you're giving me a new Mighty Ducks. Just make sure Drake's not wearing a Mighty Ducks jersey, and I'm good with that.
How much Gerard Butler are we getting? I feel that's an important.
Well, first of all, where would you draft Gerard Butler to? DC service or Disney Plus Marvel service?
Sure, he feels like a DC guy to me.
There's more. There's more for him to do.
He feels like a DC guy to me.
There's definitely more and there's more shine for him on that side.
Yeah.
He would get lost in National Geographic over here and Hulu Plus and.
Yeah, no, you need the room to breathe. What I do actually, we were talking about what we want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Another one for DC to bring the Constantine TV show back with Matt Ryan. And
great.
then the one season of that, was it ABC? I can't remember. It wasn't on CW.
Right.
He was separate. The show, it was. I enjoyed it a lot.
Right.
It wasn't the best thing ever, but it only got one season to breathe.
I'll raise you one better. You bring back the Sharon Agent Carter TV show for Marvel Disney Plus.
Yeah,
she had a great one season.
2 seasons.
Not enough. Not enough seasons. Yeah. The bottom line is she deserves a second run, especially if you're gonna have an exclusive service. You might as well give her exclusive rights to it.
You know what's really cool about the second season? I'm gonna say spoilers, but it's been out for fucking so long. She deals with the original Black Widow.
Oh no, that's a spoiler! What am I gonna do now?
I'm sorry, but like things like that, that's pretty cool. Like she was the original one from Natasha's program,
and then kind of helps pave your, because you can use this as a plot device to either build up your cinematic universe or more things happening in your streaming service, right? So if you have a past TV show that's only gonna set up for breadcrumbs that are gonna be picked up by Falcon and Winter Soldier in their TV show, and an inevitable crossover, however you want to do it, because time travel now exists in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Keep 6 for Krang or Kang.
Spoilers, whatever you're saying.
Keepsakes for Kang.
Kang.
Yeah, Kang the Conqueror.
Hey. That's all I had to go. Yeah, you have a lot of opportunities specifically for Marvel to do crazier things, and then we're all assuming that they're gonna pick up all of the Defenders and do amazing things on this end.
I don't know if they're gonna pick them up. I don't know. I think they're gonna redo them. I think the Netflix ones are gonna be lost in the wind.
If they took all the properties and then just gave us a Defenders TV show on the Marvel streaming service, I'm not mad.
That's possible, but there is a clause. I know there's a clause. Sorry to cut you up. There's something that says anything that was on the Netflix stuff, they literally have to wait 2 years before redoing it.
Which is fine because the Marvel Disney Plus site has given you 6 years worth of content to watch while you're even waiting for anything, let alone if you realize that you're waiting for anything. I get it. It's a great clause for Netflix because you get the last squeeze of every drop that you invested on things.
Yeah, I'm just saying don't expect them soon. Don't expect them soon because they can't do anything for X amount of years.
Look how much you're getting already. For the price of Malcolm in the Middle and The Simpsons.
I'm not complaining.
I mean, we are complaining because right now they don't have comic books, which is, I feel like, a missed step. And I don't know how they're going to deal with their communities, right? So
you know what they should do?
Is there going to be a rating system? Is there going to be a message board? Is there going to be live chats? Like, how would I get to talk to anyone in this service? How do I get to hear reviews of, like, do I as a user get to leave a review on Frozen? What do I think of it? Obviously a G-rated review.
You gonna watch Frozen?
I mean, again? And Frozen 2's coming.
I've never. No.
You never seen Frozen?
Nope.
Bro.
Nope.
Let it go.
No.
Let it go.
I wonder if.
Let it go.
It'd be cool. It'd be cool if they packaged Marvel Unlimited with this, because you were saying no comic books, right? So they have the app already for Marvel Unlimited, which is good. I've used it before. It was a free trial for a month. But it'd be cool because if what you like about DC, and what I like too, but that's kind of your drawing point, is the comics, the accessibility of comics.
Well, that's the inception into this world.
Yeah.
Right?
So why not with this?
But Disney
service,
Disney Plus is completely different with.
So you sign up for Disney Plus.
Their demographic.
Yeah, you sign up for Disney Plus now. And get like 3 months of Marvel Unlimited for free.
That'd be great.
That'd be sick, because then you're getting access to all those comics. The same thing with DC. They're up to, I think, a year old.
The only difference is DC Universe keeps you all on one site.
Correct. This will spread you out.
But this is already spread you out. This is already spreading you out, which is the danger too, right? Like you don't know, or however you're gauging your demographic, like streamlining and spreading out.
Are they packaging Hulu with it? Or do you have to pay extra for Hulu?
Right. Or
there's things you got to think about too.
And things that will definitely change too. So once they see how much that they're giving you and how many people like it, expect
prices to go up.
Right. So if this is a ground floor situation, jump in now, right? I mean, for a couple months you're only paying $14 on your end and $12 on my end. Hey, 2 months, $12. I can do it. I don't know how much you're gonna dive into it with as much as they're offering, but their whole like National Geographic and Disney nature, like that's a stream that I feel like is overlooked, right? I don't know if anyone's ever seen what was the BBC documentary where they just went around the planet, our planet. There's that one, and then there's another one that was just different walks of life around the world, but it was
Planet Earth.
Planet Earth. There you go. Very simple. But that's one of the first things I saw on Blu-ray in a Blu-ray player.
That was the Blu-ray introduction, I think.
That was the reason. Everybody that was the reason to get a Blu-ray player, right?
Oh my! Because they shot in
specific for Blu-ray. Like they understood that market. So if Disney keeps that in mind within the National Geographic, and if you're filming in 4K with the highest capabilities to make sure that these people have the best possible TVs, that's like a very easy and smart way to get in, because that way you cross several demographics. I haven't met a kid that doesn't like an animal, and I haven't met an adult that doesn't like an animal, right? It's always a very easy crossover to enjoy these kind of nature documentaries and give us a scope of the world to people that don't always get to see it. So I feel like the National Geographic is definitely something that's going to be underlooked, but something that's so huge in this whole Disney Plus, which I feel like that should be a better name for it. They should keep adding a plus for every subsect that they add to this service, because there's a lot. Yeah,
but at the same time, like, Netflix isn't going away. Like, they're making moves too.
Right.
They acquired Miller World, so Mark Miller's comic universe.
Okay.
And they're pumping out stuff too to compete with the other two. The two
to
comics,
stay
right?
afloat, right?
They have to.
I still think they're the leader in the race right now, but they're gonna take a hit when they lose all of the Marvel stuff, because that was definitely a big pull factor. For people to.
I think that's why originally I got it.
Yeah, sign up to Netflix and then stay on Netflix, right? Like, how many people have binged as many Marvel movies leading up to Marvel releases, right? Infinity War still up there, and I know how many people watched that before they got to jump into Endgame. The benefit of Netflix is they're so varied with what they'll accept on the site that there's always something more to watch, which I think Disney Plus is trying to do. But because Disney Plus is specific in what they can put on there with their whole G-rated and Hulu is R-rated, their scope
seems like that's what's going to be, right?
Their scope is finite. Netflix is like, hey man, we'll take it, basically. So you can get the family section, you can get the family together section, you can get it just for kids, or you can get this is just for me. These are all the weed related documentaries and TV shows I want to watch, which is a lot of. I doubt Disney's gonna have any drug related content.
No, probably not. I imagine they would
on their service. Where in DC they have a lot of drug related comic books, so you can kind of see how it's flipping out, right? Like Marvel Disney Plus is going to be more family friendly content. DC Universe is going to be, we know you like comic books, we know you like graphic novels, here's shit to reward those type of readers and watchers. And Netflix is for everyone that's like, I don't even give a fuck about comic books.
But like I said, they still have Miller Worlds or Millar. I don't know how to pronounce. I say Miller.
Here's a question to you: would you sign up for 3 services? Or
no,
that's
no,
ridiculous.
I'd be cutting it back.
There's someone out there that will. More power to you, but that's ridiculous. You could never watch as many services as you're going to sign up for.
No.
What this is now creating is a line in the sand between everyone of where you're going to spend your dollar.
Because even with these guys, there's still Amazon Prime. There's still the HBO one. There's still Showtime. There's still Crave. There's still
cable.
There's still cable. That's kind of
it's not phased out yet. It's dipping, but still people have invested in satellite. And
I just cut mine, so it's gone now.
I still have mine, but I use it primarily for live sports.
Sports. That's what I used it for too. But
and the ticker, CP24.
Yeah, I get that at work.
And none of these guys have music videos, which I feel would throw them.
Way the dodo, man. And YouTube. Way the YouTube.
And none of these guys have attachments to YouTube.
Yep.
YouTube related content is
well, YouTube has its own thing now. Like they're trying to pump their own streaming thing. Like it's insane. The streaming thing is nuts.
Yeah.
What's on there now? Fuck. What is it? There's something on there that
Cobra Kai.
No, it's something stupid.
Well, there is. There's the Karate Kid.
Is it?
Yeah, Karate Kid. Is either on YouTube or Amazon.
You know what it is? It's the.
I think it's YouTube.
It's the revival of. Do you remember The Hills? From that Laguna Beach show, and then there's a sequel to Hills.
Unfortunately, I do know what you're talking about.
They're reviving The Hills, and it's going to be on YouTube. I think that's what it is. I'm not looking at anything that's from memory, but it was some silly show like that.
I'm just waiting for DC Universe to invest in.
So how many streams do you want? Because we were talking about. I just cut you off. Go ahead.
You did.
Finish.
Well, the joke's dead now.
No, go ahead. You move.
And it's such a good lead-in. I don't know if the punchline was going to hit,
like,
but you're like, what do you do?
I'm like, I'm talking now.
What do you do?
Listen here, broad. I'm talking now.
I'm going to say this joke for the next episode. Believe me, I'll remember it. If it doesn't make sense and it's not funny, you can blame Coke.
You can blame me.
What would I sign up for?
You dopey broads. No, because we have Netflix, Marvel, Disney, Hulu, Crave, like the HBO one, YouTube, Showtime.
Well, I don't subscribe to YouTube. It's still free, although those commercials.
You don't want to watch The Hills?
Although those commercials are.
What's wrong with you? Don't watch The Hills?
Can I say what the fuck I want to say on the goddamn commercials? Fuck this guy. That's the second time I'm trying to say some shit. Unsubscribe to you. Where would I spend my money? Honestly, given everything that we've got, the most pull factor is the comic books. Based on what we're doing right now, the fact that I have over 20,000 comic books kind of looks like DC would win this fight.
I kind of like how clean it is. It's just this is what you're getting.
It's very simple.
There's no junk.
And there's a lot of
fluff.
There's a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
This one, like the growth is happening, but I don't know. It's a jungle, so I don't know where it's gonna grow, when it's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
Where I'm gonna find that flower that's gonna save my life from cancer, and where I'm gonna find that flower that's gonna eat me and give me cancer.
And really, the most for when you said this one,
Marvel. I'm pointing to Disney
Plus.
Marvel. Yes.
The only things that really interest me like a lot would be I still want to see New Mutants if that's even going to be on there. Like I want
the
to see
Marvel What Ifs sounds cool.
Marvel What Ifs will be different.
Go back to animated if like you haven't announced anything about the Saturday morning cartoons, but you have a wealth more than anyone else. You have X-Men cartoons, you have Spider-Man cartoons. There's an Avenger cartoon, Fantastic Four, Iron Man had some runs early on.
Oh, there's tons.
If you're gonna re-release these, or like at least pay attention to, like, here's the thing that would have sold me for Marvel. If you decided that every Saturday you're gonna give me a Saturday morning run, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in, because I'd show up for Saturday, or work out some deal where I only get access on Saturday. Fucking in.
And just run it, eh?
And just run a fucking 5 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Just like when you were about 6.
6?
Probably a little older than that. I remember waking up early Saturday mornings, running down.
Guys, missing all the little. You said 6, then I said 6. You had an opportunity to say 6 again, and you went into your little story. Anyway, go into your story.
We're not at that segment yet.
I know, but synergy.
How dare you?
Look at me do the hand thing.
How dare your hand thing?
Look at the hand thing. This is what I should have been doing.
That's definitely picking up.
It's picking up. That was like this one. Remember this?
Yeah.
Remember this one?
Good. Yeah. What was that for? I don't remember.
You want me to tell you what it was, remember?
No. Yes.
I literally remember. It was Lex Luthor, and he's like,
oh, yeah,
such a beautiful man.
Yeah, you beautiful boy.
When we figure out how to work cameras on these podcasts, you're in for a treat, people.
And that was just like last week too, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, well, we film pretty consistently.
Week. Yeah.
So, for me personally, I'm still an advocate for Saturday mornings, and I love Saturday morning. The whole ideal of having just cartoons to watch and a bowl of cereal. I've yet to see anyone try to replicate that, other than Cartoon Network. But then, I don't know if that's a streaming site or just a channel now. And it's cartoons. It's just it's all streaming sites. Everything's a blur, and everything's all out there, right? Like Adult Swim is the best version of Saturday morning cartoons for the adult, because they took that format and they increased the age. Still gave me weird cartoons, but they gave it to me at night when I would have been high or drunk or with my friends, being like, let's check this out. If any of these streaming services figure out that these are the same kids that were watching our cartoons when they were kids and they want that type of schedule again, I'm definitely going to turn my head and pay more attention to them.
You're going to become 10 years old again.
Well, I haven't left.
And jump right.
If you haven't paid attention, we have a podcast about comic books and comic book movies and streaming services. So clearly, I've kept that side of me alive and thriving. Although I just put a lot of beer on him, so he can't swim. Or he can swim really well.
He can swim really well.
Really well. But it's a Wild West time, so we're excited.
We're excited.
And more news to come. We're excited until they start removing things from places that we remember them to be. Because if they start removing Simpsons from cable TV, I'm
how dare you?
How dare you?
Sunday night at 8 o'clock. What am I going to watch?
Netflix.
Netflix,
Which is what I've been doing anyway.
Yeah,
because you end up streaming Simpsons at a later date.
Yep.
So this plays into the fact that nobody's watching anything when it's scheduled anyway. Maybe
like you said, the only thing cable's got going for is the sports, live sports. That's it.
Well, anything live, anything that you can't really stream later. If Marvel lets me build a schedule, and like set a schedule, I don't know the capabilities of that. But if you want this to be all encompassing with everything that you have,
nobody else does that.
Right.
That's interesting.
And if I'm planning for like my children and my family, so I can build a block of like, oh, I'm gonna make sure they watch this cartoon, but this nature documentary, and then I'm going to watch this series, and then this dramatic, whatever. And then together we're all going to watch this Disney re-released movie. That would be cool. As opposed for me clicking, like if I can set it, and then just play it so it knows to run this entire thing until whenever.
Like a playlist.
Exactly, like a playlist. That's huge. Especially for what you're going. You want my entire family to be watching this at all times? Let me build it for my family, based on what you're giving me. You can't see it now, but the wheels in Coke's head right now are spinning so much. It's like this actually is a pretty smart idea. If I could do that for my little one and my not so little one, and me, I wouldn't mind that.
I can run it.
And then when I know hockey's on, I'll flip to hockey.
Oh yeah, bud.
Well, yeah, bud.
Oh yeah.
Playoffs. But you know,
nobody cares. this segment, we rank the top 9 for any given topic of the day. Welcome to Power wreckingS.
Power wreckingS.
How about that? Today, we've got the top 9 best swordsmen in comics.
Swordswomen, swordsmen.
Swords people.
Swords players.
Swords people.
Swords
I apologize.
players. Yeah.
Sorry.
Because
triggered.
According to this list, there's a lot of transsexuals that are really good with swordplay.
Yes.
Well, we don't know about this one. It could be either or.
You're right. Absolutely right. Yeah, no, absolutely right.
Right? So I'll bring that up.
So 1 to 9.
Right? So this one is the best.
Number 1, Conan the Barbarian.
He's the best?
I guess so. I don't know why he's there.
I didn't put him there.
No, I think I probably did, but he's there. I don't know why I put him there.
Conan is the best.
That's pretty funny.
He wields the biggest sword.
Yeah,
and thus he is the best.
Here, how's his argument?
He had to pray to Crum.
Do you never see Conan without his sword? It's always in his hand,
that
ready
makes you,
to go.
That makes you swordman? Okay. Yeah,
I'm assuming
sure.
he's adept with it.
Yeah, he has the biggest sword by far.
Yeah, we'll do that. Ooh, maybe not.
Maybe not. And then
there's this. Yeah. Let's just go through
number
the list.
2. Okay, so maybe this list is people with swords.
Yeah.
Let's just do that.
Just say people with swords. Number 2.
Deadpool. Who has 2?
Does 2 at once. He's actually really skilled with them.
Fair enough. I think he would lose to Conan in a sword match, though.
There you go. That's why he's number 1.
Okay, right? So I think if they were able to match up,
But,
as good as fucking talented Deadpool is with a sword, I don't think he can beat the bruteness and power of Conan and his wielding.
Plus Deadpool's got the added bonus of the healing factor, so I mean you could say he could take nicks and just heal up, so maybe that.
But I don't think he'd be taking nicks, like he'd be losing limbs.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
he'd be gone.
Conan's going for
chopped
arteries.
Up the little pieces. Number 3.
Leonardo
from Turtles fame.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
Turtles.
Tortoise.
Also the dual swordsman.
Yeah, really good. Really, very martial art based with his swords and very talented. And again, if he's going up against Conan, too. I think you'd end up being Turtle Soup. So
we're backing up the whole Conan.
Yeah, we're just putting everyone against Conan to make sure that Conan is taking top spot.
Number 4, Katana from DC fame.
Look out for this comic where Conan fights all these swords people.
Yeah,
Conan wins.
Conan versus.
Spoilers.
Katana's number 4. So she's been part of Suicide Squad. She's underrated character.
I was thinking of a Mortal Kombat Katana.
She doesn't have swords. She's got the fans.
Yeah, but it's kind of swordy.
Or no, she's the size. No, she's the fan.
No, she's got the fans.
Fans, right? Yeah. She doesn't do the dual swords, but she probably could.
Yeah, and her swords speak to her, so she has that advantage of carrying the souls of those that her sword has taken down. But again, not going to beat Conan.
No, but number 5 actually could be a good adversary for Red Sonja from Image Comics, the redhead barbarian woman with
fair enough.
A massive sword.
I think Red Sonja actually got a spin-off movie adjacent to Conan at some point in the 80s.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I don't think they ever appeared in the same movie, but it's definitely kind of in the same world or universe.
And to her credit, she's used other things like big axes and shit too. It's not just swords.
She might beat Conan with an axe.
So we're
but we don't know with a sword.
Could be number 5. Could be his greatest adversary in this list. Yeah.
I mean, and she's a woman, so she knows how to use her womanly ways. I would hope.
Number 6, Deathstroke. So
he's got 2 swords.
Yeah.
Not as good as Sonya, I guess.
Red Sonja, no. I guess no healing factor, so maybe he lost points for that.
And he's got to wear a motorcycle helmet. So
yeah, he's got the helmet too. It's not like a mask.
That's a lot to wield. He can't beat Conan.
No. Number 7.
Should we just change it to who can't beat Conan?
Yeah. Number 7 is Snake Eyes,
which I was referring to in the beginning of this episode.
Yes.
Could be a Snake Eyes woman or a Snake Eyes man. We've never actually seen under the mask or under the cod piece.
No.
So it could be Ladyboy. We don't know. It could be half and half. It could be a third.
But
it could be 1/8.
But are they beating Conan?
It could be 1/32. I don't. How many fractions can I really get out of here?
I don't know. But are they beating Conan?
I think if there's anyone that may have a chance,
like 7 or 8.
It's 7 or 9.
7 or 9. Okay. Yeah. Snake Eyes. Now number 8 is Storm Shadow,
who is great, and we do know is a man.
Yes.
Not that
one's clarified.
That doesn't make a difference.
Doesn't make him any better.
But he always loses to Snake Eyes, so that's why I can't say he would have a better chance against Conan.
And which is why he's below Snake Eyes in the standing.
And he also loses to Conan in a sword fight.
And number 9.
Wait, did we specify which swords they're using?
No.
This is not in the urinal swords.
No, what does broadsword? What does Deadpool?
No, I meant penises.
Oh,
it's okay.
I'm so innocent.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was like, oh, that's a broadsword.
For this side, we're talking about transsexuals, and now
they
you're,
use katanas.
Yeah, and now you're innocent.
He has a falchion.
We didn't.
They have this
Number
scimitar.
9's He-Man, but I feel like we didn't put Link on here at all. And
Link or Cloud, but I don't know, like Cloud from Final Fantasy. That Buster Sword is
huge. Is Cloud in a comic? Well, we're not talking about big swords.
No,
that's a different list.
You're right, and I don't know if there's a comic, so that's why I left.
We didn't put Psylocke on here too.
Psylocke is not on here.
She uses a mind sword.
She's got the blades. They're like more like daggers, though. I feel like she would rely more. Like she's sword fighting, but wouldn't she rely more on?
This seems like it's going to be its own episode. We're going to have definitely more swordplay.
This list has 20 people on it. Top 9 of 20.
And definitely there's going to be a follow up of swordplay in the urinal.
May not. Yeah, why not?
I think that's where He-Man wins.
Number 9 is He-Man.
Oh, there you go.
You know, the power of Grayskull.
He's got a big sword and a big loincloth. So one can only assume.
Is he good with sword play, or is he just charged? Like, is it because of the
I
magical
think
sword?
I have the power is pretty huge. I mean, he gets
Yeah.
a thunderbolt and everything.
Yeah.
You would assume that he has to be able to wield that. He takes down Skeletor repeatedly. And Man Beast? Bear Beast. Where Beast? Was Man Beast? It's Man Beast. It's Man Beast. Coat of arms.
There you go. 1 to 9 sword play.
These are 8 people that cannot beat Conan in a sword match.
So we just justified our own reason for putting him in.
Well, now we have to talk more about Conan, I guess. You didn't put Mano X of War on this?
He doesn't need a sword.
But he has one.
Nice. Well, I mean, he uses the suit more. I'd put Ray before I put him.
From Ghostbusters?
No, from Valiant. The fucking Cyber Ninja.
You didn't put Ray from Ghostbusters?
I'd put Ninjak before I put him too. He's not on there. This list sucks.
So there's gonna be a part 2 to this. This may be powered double time ×2. Reboot.
666.
What time is it?
6 o'clock. I want to always say that. Yeah, it's not fucking 6 o'clock.
How do you mess up what time it is though? You say it's 666.
666.
And then I ask you what time it is.
And I say 6.
No, you say it's 666.
6. I did say that.
You said it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock with 66 minutes.
You haven't said that.
Technically, it'd be 7:06.
I'm doing the math right now to catch up. It's 7 o'clock, guys. On the dot. I'm in my drop top, cruising the streets. I got Coke right next to me, and I'm thirsty for a drink next to me. I pull up, anticipating good talks, cause I didn't want to see me waiting. Yeah, I got plans to put my hands on computers and press record. I think we have a new intro.
We've been drinking.
Really? This wasn't root beer?
No. That was 11%, yeah.
Have you tried that vodka root beer?
No.
It's not bad.
I don't want vodka. Actually, no.
Yeah, you do.
I'd try it.
You would try it. It's not bad.
I was immediately going to hate on it. And I was like, no,
it's booze. I'll try it. You forget, we're yeah, we've been drinking.
We're talking about Mutant League today.
Are we?
Old 1994 cartoon. Based on...
It's based on something?
No, I was going to give you the premise. I don't know why I said based on it.
So professional.
Yeah, the premise.
Copyright infringement. Sorry, Usher. I mean, whoever generic 90s R&B artist.
The ground cracks, all this toxin shit comes up. Is that what it is? Comes out from under the earth.
Something happens that the earth fucked.
Mutates everybody. So
everybody is no longer human as they once were. They're now mutants.
And some of them are forced to fight and compete.
Well, some of them have the option to just like, hey.
They have options. I don't remember.
So the world is apocalypsed and everyone looks like a freak. So they're looking for a way to distract us from this epidemic of like, I want to kill myself because I look like a mutant. So they decide to go to sports, which is what everyone fucking does all through history and time when you can't figure out what to do with your life.
Yes, they have a big coliseum with like races and volleyball. And the catch is, it's insanely violent for a kid's show. In the sense that heads rip off and arms rip off.
Limb.
And they're playing volleyball and they'll rip an arm off and like hit the volleyball with it.
Yeah. But it's smart for a kid show because they can just dump the bodies in this goo and then they just regenerate.
Yeah. Oh, they regenerate?
Yeah, no, doesn't it grow back?
It's been a while. I just remember it being fucking amazing. I remember watching it and as a kid I was like, this is the
You really wanted to be a mutant?
So I didn't want to be a mutant. No, I just wanted to watch the show.
Okay, well,
It wasn't like a superhero thing. Now it's impossible to find. It's near impossible to find, though. I remember trying looking for it for a download.
Right.
Like years ago.
Yep.
Couldn't find it.
Is that where this story's going?
This is where it's going.
But you
find me a copy of
you're
League.
looking for a copy, or you because we found it.
I just want to stream it.
You can stream it.
Yeah.
You don't want to stream it.
No, I'm down to stream it. I don't need to own it.
Okay, so yeah, 94.
I'm afraid though that when I watch it, it's not gonna be as good as I remember.
Again, this is our segment where we get people hyped for things.
It's awesome. I watched it yesterday and it's fucking great.
Keep in mind, this only really lasted 2 seasons, 13 episodes apiece.
It got cut because of the violence, though. They caught on to the whole arm ripping and shit.
Well, I mean, some of the episodes' titles name were the Hall of Pain Awards, Sudden Death, Ultra Fear, Strike.
They cut it early because it was. I'm pretty sure they got complaints.
The Ultimate Breed.
So if you have a kid,
Scandalous Cad.
If you have a kid and you want to scar him or her,
Razor's Wedge.
You can watch the Mutant League '94 cartoon. It's wholesome and nice, and it resembles Little House on the Prairie.
The Sumo Match.
That's not that bad.
The Loser. All-Star Battle Royal. But yeah, again, we're not doing it justice because it's one of those cartoons that seemingly was ahead of its time with its concept, because we're young dumb boys and we like things that explode and
I like things go boom.
And this had a lot of it.
Yeah.
A very interesting premise. I wouldn't mind it as a movie, to be honest with you.
No, I want to see it back. Yeah.
I don't know how they would make that go on for an hour and a half, but then again, we've seen 5, 6 Transformers, so
yeah, that's
am I right if the story's a little light?
Yeah.
Just give me my mutants getting fucked up.
You can even keep it animated. You can keep it animated.
What's the Arnold Schwarzenegger 6th Day? Is that about like clones and shit?
Yeah.
And then there's sports dudes. They end up like, hey man, 6th Day meets Mutant League. I'm all in.
Fucking bring it home.
Right. So keep 6 on the 6th Day, guys. Great movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's what we're talking about, right?
Yep. This segment is called Heroes from a Hat, where we take 2 random heroes from this hat, Marvel heroes, and put them against each other. I just wanted to say, I just realized they've been saying heroes for so long.
People get it.
Yeah, they get it by now. All right, you go first.
I'm going to take it. Not looking. I'm going to look.
Iceman.
Captain Marvel. This one's going a few rounds, man.
Okay. All right.
Listen, here's the thing.
I was hoping this wouldn't happen.
I know, but here we are. Because I feel like you're an advocate for Captain Marvel, who I've chosen, and I'm an advocate for Iceman, who I've chosen.
That's why this makes this very interesting.
And we both rate these motherfuckers high. So I don't know if you listen to. Well, you should have been listening to the other drafts. Usually they're pretty one-sided because obviously we want one to push through. This one, because we didn't plan this at all.
No.
This made.
I didn't even realize these are the last 2 left.
Yeah, we were
for this round.
That was an oversight, and we already have a full bracket for the next round, which is very nice, right?
Yeah.
So whoever's coming through is very much a 1 seed.
Yeah, but then we have each other's
pick.
So this is interesting.
Let's do the justice for these characters. Let's go through power sets, okay? This
one's gonna take a while. Yeah, so
let's run the set for this, okay? So for Captain Marvel, I'm gonna say female Captain Marvel. I'm not gonna choose Marvel.
No. We're doing Carol.
There's been several incarnations of Captain Marvel. Can't say the same for Iceman. Iceman's been legit Bobby Drake.
No, it's been Bobby Drake.
So I mean, I would, if I was Iceman, I would use that as a point for my side, but I can't, right? Okay. So Captain Marvel, super strength, super speed, super stamina, flight, cosmic awareness, and energy manipulation. She's got fucking
everything.
I'm trying not to say that, but to say that, like, she's stacked. Like, if you ever had to stack the deck, this is how you do it. You let them fly, you let them go to space, you let them come back and be badass. And she's got that. So, that's just my side. That's Captain Marvel. Let me hear Iceman's power set.
Thermokinesis. Well, you know the thermokinesis. So he's got the ice powers. Thermal vision, cryokinesis, organic, ice form, ice clone generation. He's basically elemental, right? So he controls moisture, if you will, ice, everything around him. Which is why he's so he's been so underrated for years.
Right.
And you find out he's an Omega level, a mutant, right? This guy is like
his power to take,
if he
take
taps
the water,
into his...
the water in your body and fuck that
Yeah,
shit. Right?
yeah. And this is like, and he keeps getting stronger and stronger because he starts like his power is so, he hasn't even tapped into all of it yet, right?
Keep
So,
galvanizing.
yeah, hydrokinesis, cryokinetic perception. Like this guy can fucking. So there's a comic run where he froze the world, or he froze, right? And he was able to within the ice see what was going on wherever shit was frozen,
Right.
and then just appear. He comes out of the ice, so he's like all seeing almost, you know.
So he's deep.
He's way stronger than people think.
Okay. So to his credit, he's got a lot of powers. But to mine, I feel like his experience level is going to be lesser than Captain Marvel's.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel's is intergalactic. She's already trained as a pilot, so she had that, like, let's say, military training, and then elevated that to a universal galaxy type level where she's seen shit that you don't typically get to see on Earth. So my scope of I've seen some shit, I've been through shit, is a little deeper than I would say Bobby Drake's little ice suit.
And but
running around with
it kind of depends too, though. If this is just if they're just just happen to fight, that's one thing. But if she comes in to, let's say, Bobby's ready into his kingdom,
right?
He's got an edge because everything around him he can fucking, you know what I mean, pop up here, go over. Like if everything's frozen around him,
Sure.
he controls the entire room.
That's great,
You know?
but you're under the assumption that Captain Marvel hasn't encountered in the vast universes and galaxies that she's traveled. Some of it kind of manipulates ice and cold.
Probably not at this level though.
Maybe not to this level, but to say that she's never been to an ice planet and knows how to handle herself in cold is foolish.
Oh no, she can handle herself in cold. That's fine. But like he's an elemental, right? Like he's moisture in the air. He'll freeze it up.
Sure, but she's kind of like the fifth element if we're talking cosmic power.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah,
So
yeah.
going back to experience, I've seen some cold planets, and I'm my own element. So while you may be great at knowing yourself, I don't know if you know how to handle someone like me, being Captain Marvel.
The one edge I will give you is because of the.
We'll already have two edges.
No, but just from jump, the energy manipulation, her ability to shoot beams and shit, like that's got to be heat generated.
Yes.
Which counters the ice naturally.
You would assume.
Right, so that's an automatic edge that I would give her.
Well, Iceman has been in situations where beams of energy have been shooting him, or fire, and he's been
okay, yeah. No, it's not gonna
counterbalance that with.
She's not gonna run up to him, shoot like bam, and then he's cooked, right? No, it's
I
gonna
mean,
be.
depending on where she puts those shots, she get two to his head,
man,
two to the temple, and bam.
How you gonna he's got clones, right? He can build an army of Icemen.
You keep doing that. I'm walking in as a thermal reactor, just boom, 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 boom.
Right, but so that's several beams. I'm saying she's not gonna come in and shoot.
If
one,
I'm walking in hot, everything's melting around me.
So is that what we're coming down to, a thermal?
I don't know.
Thermal fight.
I'm giving myself the edge.
Factor?
I gave myself the edge on experience.
Yeah.
You're trying to give yourself on the edge on elemental, and sure, on Earthbound, where we only thought there were 4 elements, yes. But because her experience has lent her to show that there's even more in this universe, I don't know if you can use that as an advantage. So if you have something else to bring to the table, by all means. But I would say that that's counter to you and a point for me. So I'd give myself 2.
I mean, aside from
And a fly.
Yeah. Well, I could do the fucking slide shit.
That's cool. But I'm pretty sure a beam from my hand will take that down. Is this teenage Bobby Drake or like young
That's
adult?
That's a good question. Yeah,
Bobby
we
age?
never really determined that.
Because
we can say young adult. Bobby Drake.
He's a bit of a poon hound.
Yeah.
A bit of a women chaser.
See, and overly cocky too. So
But he
starts spitting game and then
typically a lot of his losses come from getting involved with a chick and losing focus on what the real goal was at hand.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So if Bobby thinks she's hot, that's another advantage.
It's the intangibles, right?
Well, that's where we have to go to, because I think in terms of power set, they're very evenly matched, or at least on a level where you would have to give this a credible breakdown of the numbers, right?
This is already like 4 times longer than we've
everything else would be like, oh, now you suck, you lose. I'll punch you in the face. You're going down. This is like, okay, let me think about what age this dude is. Like, where are you gonna catch me? Because if you catch me out in space, can he breathe in space? Does he need to breathe?
I'd imagine so, yeah.
Okay, so this can't be a space flight. But for Carol, it could be.
And she's half Cree, right? So. Oh, you want to give it to her? I kind of think I'm leaning towards that way.
I think I'm earning these.
Yeah.
But like ultimately, if this is a young dude, like
yeah, the younger he is, the less of a chance.
less likely he has to, because the experience. I feel like the experience is the largest portion of it.
Yeah.
Because your power set could destroy half the people on this list.
Oh yeah, that's why it
And that's
sucks.
off him.
It sucks that Iceman came up against her first round.
Because
right?
he'd be great in the second round for a lot of these matchups. But if this is a young buck just figuring out his powers, and this is Carol coming back from doing shit way over there with the Kree and shit, and like she's had to be like a peacekeeper between two races of aliens.
Yeah.
For how many years? So like she knows how to carry herself. Basically, what I'm saying.
And then just I know it's not all this, but just the thermal matchup too is kind of.
Yeah, man.
It's not in his favor. Like,
if you know how to stay warm, if you know how to stay cold when it's really, really warm, by all means. But I don't know if you do.
All right, so reluctantly.
Valiant effort.
Reluctantly, we'll give this.
Don't reluctant. You see it, because I was battling with your dude. Like she's your guy.
Yeah.
Like I want Iceman to do the giant balls of snow that drop.
Big fucking element. Yeah.
Fucking I loved him in what was it, Marvel vs. Capcom?
Just a big fucking icicle from the ground.
Just fucking shooting shit all over the place. Like, he was great.
But Captain Marvel move on.
He tried. He got a kiss at the end. We'll give him that. Give him